Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Rika and this is Rika Life. Alright, so I have been slowly making progress on my crochet projects on all my whips. I actually went to Joann's today and I did not buy yarn, so that deserves a pat on my back. We are 11 days into the month and I have not bought any yarn this month, which is just amazing. I kind of started doing, I would go by Joann's like whenever I was in the area, and I made it a point that like if I went maybe once every week or once in 2 weeks, I'd pick up like one ball of yarn, and that would make me so happy. So because just getting one ball of yarn felt nicer than not getting any. So I did go today, and I realized that the Lion Brand Mandala yarn is on sale again for $4.99 for a cake. And I realized that if I use a coupon and do an online order for curbside pickup, that I could get it even cheaper because it's listed online on their website and app at $4.99 as well. So I'm toying with the idea of buying Lion Brand Mandala Ombre in Tranquil. So I've always seen that colorway online, but I'd never noticed it that much as I noticed it today in store, and it looked beautiful. So I might be ordering some of that, but then of course then I won't be not buying yarn this month. It's funny because once before I've seen this yarn at $4.99 at Joann's, and I honestly thought that was a fluke, and I thought that was the only time they would do it. Lo and behold, they're doing it again now until like March 17th or something. So I guess this is a regular thing with them. They do have a lot of Lion Brand Mandala yarn, but the stock is going down. So there were not as many bonus bundles, and some of the stock is going down. People are starting to buy it. I'm not really sure why is it on such a steep discount. I think the original price is something like $9 or $10. So I think it's almost half off. The original price might be between $7 and $10. But I really love getting it for this deal, you know, because I love that yarn. It's one of my absolute favorites. Anyways, the reason for today's video is to share a few things with you. Some is some artwork that me and my daughter have been making. And some, of course, is to update you on my crochet hexagon cardigan that I've been making. So I'm going to show you the artwork first, and then we'll get into the crochet. So my daughter has been making things for her friends, things for just trying out her different markers. And so I asked her that, can you make me a Rika Life sign so that I can put it right behind me when I'm making my videos? So she finally made me one. I know this is going to show upside down, but maybe I can show it to you like this. So that's what it looks like. These are the actual colors here. It's very vibrant. So I was thinking maybe I could put it up there in the back somewhere, but then I'd have to flip my video so that you can read it every time. But that's one that she made for me. And then the other day we were coloring together. So I drew this out, and then I told her the colors to make. So this is a mandala that I drew, and then she colored it. So everything is essentially pink with a black border, and then she wrote Rika Life on top. So that might look really nicer too. I don't know, maybe I'll make like a whole wall of her art. I have more of her art beside me also. She's always made such cool things. Like she's made me this. I thought that was so neat. It says, I love you in the middle. I thought it's such a nice piece of art. So I keep it right beside me for inspiration. So let's see, maybe I can make buy a little board, like a cork board, and put it up there and do that. And that's a possibility. I already have all this happening, and I have these bins here. So I don't have any space down here, but this area here, of course, is empty. So maybe I can do that in the future. That's an idea. Okay, so now let's get to the actual crocheting and yarn talk. So I'll pop up a picture here again. I've made 2 of these cardigans already. And this was done with a cotton yarn called Premier. Oh my God. I can't think of it right now. No. It's not coming to me. I'll put the name here. I made it with this yarn, and I used about 5 balls to make 2 cardigans. And now I decided to make another cardigan, which these colors were requested by my daughter's friend. So I have used Karen Simply Soft in lime and watermelon. And then I've also used Big Twist Value in Rainbow Brights. That's the color. And I'm going to show you the finished cardigan. I've woven in the ends and everything, so it's completely done. I don't have my hanger here. I would have loved to show this to you on a hanger first, but this is what the cardigan looks like. So again, this is like the most basic cardigan shape. And this is 2 panels, and then they've been sewed together in the middle, and they've been sewed across the top. So I made 2 L shapes. So I just wanted to share a couple of tips with you about this. One thing, of course, not everyone does this, but I have used a magic circle to start my project. And if you do use a magic circle, you want to be very certain that it's secure. So for something like this, I might even suggest not to use a magic circle and to instead chain 4 and then create a ring, just so that you know that it's secure. Otherwise, spend some time weaving in that end. You do not want this to unravel. As you go on with your projects, they can get heavy. So you don't want that unraveling on you. That's my first tip. My second tip, which I learned the hard way, is if making a hexagon cardigan, in the beginning, in the first couple rows, please stop and count and make sure you are making a hexagon. Make sure there are not 5 sides, there are 6 sides. I learned this the hard way because I made one entire panel of this and then realized it wouldn't fold into an L because I had only 5 sides. So that is a huge tip I want to give you. I was literally on the very last row when I realized I made this mistake, and I had to frog the entire thing and redo it. So this project has taken me almost twice as long to make as it would have initially. That is a huge tip. Please make sure you're making a hexagon. Not everyone will be making it in this exact same manner with a granny stitch or granny clusters. But whatever stitch you decide to use, make sure it's making a hexagon, okay? That is my second tip. You don't want to be frustrated and have to frog the entire thing. I just got into the rhythm of it and I kept going. I never even folded it over once to make sure that I could see the L shape, that it was 6-sided, because I figured, I've already started, I'm doing good, and I just kept going. So that's not a time to be, it is a time to be mindlessly crocheting because that's what makes this a fun project. But in the very beginning, as you start, check that magic circle and check that you have 6 sides for your hexagon. Okay. Third tip. I actually saw someone in a hexagon cardigan group who stitched together their cardigan with one panel like this, and the other panel was upside down like this. Okay, so you need to make sure that the correct side is facing you. You need to make sure that you are going to be stitching it in the correct way. Okay, and the number one way I've found to make sure that's happening is by using stitch markers. Before I made any stitches down the middle to join, or any stitches across the top to join, or any stitches across the top here, I first took one L shape and the other L shape. I first took the top of this and put stitch markers all the way across and matched up the sides, because you want to match up the sides and make sure you are joining them in the correct place. Okay, you are joining them where they're supposed to be joined. Okay. That was the first thing. I did that over here on this side, and I also did that over here on this side. Once I was done that, I made sure, so I did not turn my work as I was going. So all of the back side is on the inside, and all of the right side is on the outside of the entire cardigan. Okay. So this is maybe not a tip for everyone, because if you are doing a wrong side and a right side and you keep switching rows, then this might not apply to you. But for my work where I just did it all in one direction, I made sure that the wrong side was on the inside and the right side was on outward facing. And then I put stitch markers all the way down here again. Okay. When you're actually going to sew this together, you're going to have stitch markers all the way here, all the way here, all the way down. And you're going to do one sleeve at a time. So you're going to take this sleeve and you're going to put it inside out. You're going to hold it so that you can work from right to left, as we do in crochet for right-handed crocheters. And you're going to work that. Then you're going to bring it back and you're going to unfold it back to where it was. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to take it, you're going to fold it inside out, because you don't want that seam. You want the nice seam facing outwards. You can do the same thing. Then again, you're going to unfold it. Okay. And then the center, because this is my inside part that'll be covered, I actually just did it right here. So I took my cardigan, I folded it, and then I did the center. And then I made sure that it was all laying correctly. Once all of that was done and it was stitched, then only did I weave in any ends. I did not weave in even one end until then. Sorry, I know I'm going into great detail, but I just want to share with you the best tips that I have while doing this. What was the other thing? I just thought of something else to share with you. So yeah, you need to make sure that you are stitching it in the correct place. And oh yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention was because I used different colors, I had to join the colors together just to go from one color to another. Traditionally, this is how I always join colors. I use like a knotting technique. I don't know if it's called a Russian join or something like that. But basically I make 2 knots and then I pull tight and then I snip off the ends. That's how I generally do all my joining and crocheting. For some reason, when I was making this, both panels, I didn't do that. I just went into my next stitch and I put my new color on a loop and I pulled through that loop and then I kept going. So when I had to frog an entire side, that made it very easy to pull that back. If I had been doing the Russian join type join that I usually do, I would have had to sit there and cut everything off and it would have just been much messier. There would have been knots everywhere. So just keep in mind, try and think about what method you use to join colors in case that you are using more than one color. And it's just a project. It's a very fun project. It can be a very mindless project, but because you're constructing a garment and it's not, it's not like a beanie or a scarf where you can it's just different. It's a different kind of garment. And this is like one of my first times making a garment like this. And that's why I think I'm just kind of giving you the beginner tips that I've found myself while doing this. So yeah, that's mostly all my tips. It's a very fun project. I will definitely be doing it again. I am working on 2 more cardigans. Likely they will be just like this. I'm making a pink one and a blue one for my daughter's teachers. Those are part of my 15 whips that I'm working on. So they've already been started. I just am kind of separating yarn colors from the same cake. So I'm using a cake that has blue and pink and I'm separating them out. One for the blue cardigan, one for the pink cardigan. And then I'll be adding in some other yarns to kind of round it out because I don't think that'll be enough yarn for those projects. But I'm sorry if I've bored you. I'm sorry if this video seems very tedious, but I just wanted to share with you all the tips because I can share my experience because I finally made something like this. In my first hexagon cardigan video that you'll see in my previous videos, I have linked the tutorial that I used. And I might link it again down below. Otherwise, go to that video and you can check out the link. It's a really fun project. It's really beautiful. You can use all the colors that you want. So I would definitely recommend trying it out. I wouldn't say it's an advanced pattern. It's very beginner friendly. But as I said, those are just some things you want to keep in mind so that you can create something that is, turns out good the first time. So I'm going to try and pop up some pictures here. I'm going to be taking pictures of this cardigan hung up on a hanger, which I forgot to do. So I'm going to put some pictures here so you can see those photos of it nice and up close. And yeah, that's all I have for today's video. As I mentioned before, this week is spring break, so I hope to have another video for you this week. We shall see if I get any crocheting time or not. Otherwise, I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon.